All right, we're gonna talk about cleaning a sandbag, either to the shoulder, over the shoulder, or you just cleaning it to pick it up and carry it somewhere. This is a Rogue Strongman sandbag, and it's just a super versatile piece of kit. This one is 100 pounds, which is about 45 kilos. And the heavy ones, like, they're fun and you can do some stuff with them, but the slightly lighter ones are good because they're just a little bit more versatile in terms of the movements that you can do, as well as the volume, like the reps that you can do. If you go super heavy, you're pretty restricted to the amount of work that you can get done. So going light, something that you can move, you can do. I mean, a really cool workout is like Grace or just 30 cleans over the shoulder for time. Like, that will mess you up. But anyway, let's talk about setup. So whenever I set up with a weight, especially in the case of something that's an odd object, I want to be really close to that weight. So as close as possible, meaning I'm going to stand like over top of it. The further away it is from my body, the worse off I am. So get it really, really close to you. Then it's going to have to be a fairly low setup because your hands are going to have to be underneath it. You got to kind of scoop it up. So as much as you can get your hands under, the better it is going to be to pick it up for that initial lift. So I'm going to stand right over top of it, get my fingers underneath. Here, I'm just going to rock it side to side a couple times just so I can get underneath it. Now, it's not a squat position. You want to be in a deadlift. I want you to get your hamstrings and your hips involved here. So I'm going to have my fingers underneath, keeping my arms straight. I'm going to bring it to my knees. And I just shuffled my feet in there, okay? So it was a nice little slide in with my feet so that I've got this lap that I've created that sandbag is resting on. And I can kind of sit here, I can stay here, right? This is pretty comfortable. My arms aren't really doing a whole lot of work, it's just resting on my legs. I wanna hug it into my chest, okay? Not my belly. You need it to be high because you're trying to get it to your shoulders. So it needs to be high up on your body. So hugging it into your chest. Then my hips are gonna come through. My arms aren't doing anything but just keeping the sandbag in contact with my body. My hips will come through. When I feel that sandbag get some momentum, like it's almost gonna catch a little bit of air, it gets weightless for a second, that's when I drive it to the shoulder. So from here, up onto the shoulder, and then down or over, all right? So thinking about your arms, in the first pull, they stay straight, okay? Your legs are doing the lift, they stay straight, they're like chains. Once it's on your lap, you're hugging it in, and your arm's job is to keep that sandbag high and close on your body, so high up on your chest. And once you've driven your hips through, then the arms come in. If the arms come in early, you're gonna be holding and supporting a lot of that weight in your arms rather than against on your body, where your legs are kind of doing the work for you. So the key is just hold on to the weight as long as you can. Let your hips come all the way through. Then when you feel that drive, when you feel that momentum, that's when you're gonna push it to your shoulder. In terms of the side that you go to, it doesn't really matter. I encourage you to swap and practice both. Just like I encourage people, if they tend to deadlift with a switch grip on this way every time, I'm gonna encourage people to swap and get used to doing both. Just like in a split jerk, if you split 1 foot forward every time, I'm gonna encourage you to practice doing both, okay? Be ambidextrous in all of your movement. So let's look at that one more time. I'm gonna get my hands under, sit my back, get it onto my lap, from my lap, drive my hips through to bring it over my shoulders. So over my weight, nice and close, hands underneath, set to the lap, hug it in nice and tight, hips over. Hands under, set to the lap, hug it in, hips, and then shoulder. So you can get pretty quick with that. Now in terms of efficiency, could you potentially power clean it all the way up? Probably, but the body part that's doing all the work are like your biceps, arms, biceps, even your grip, because you're pulling that bag with your fingertips. So if it's a low rep, high intensity workout that's over quickly, I would probably power clean. But as soon as there's more reps, like as soon as it's like multiple rounds of like even 10 reps, I would be doing it onto the lap and then over the shoulder. But you bring it to the lap for a fraction of a second, you hug, and then the hips come through. So it becomes pretty quick. And as you can tell, it's a gassy movement. So you will get gas doing this. This is just like, this lives in my car. Like, it is so handy for bringing it out to the park and doing a workout with. Just bear in mind that if you're working out on concrete, you might scratch up your knuckles. So I pulled out a rubber mat. It would have probably been fine on the grass, But sometimes if there's sticks or like just uneven surface, again, you'll just find yourself with like really bruised up or like bleeding knuckles. So even just having a towel in the back of the car so that you can lift, and every time you put your fingers underneath your sandbag, you've got something that it's going to make sure that you're not just rubbing skin off on every single rep. So that's a sandbag clean to the shoulder. You can clean to the shoulder, over the shoulder, or do carries, or hug and do squats, or clean to the shoulder and do lunges. Like, there's a ton of really fun stuff that you can do with these bags. Go out, get outside, have fun.